Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to show you all my favorite glow products for the face. I have quite a few which I absolutely love. They are all a little bit different textures, different undertones, and I'm just gonna show you all of them right now. I have a selection of powders, creams and liquids. And if you are interested in what my favorite highlighters are at the moment, then just keep on watching. I have only two powders because I'm not the biggest fan of highlighter in powder form. I much prefer liquids and creams, but I'm going to show you all of them in a minute. But I do have one brand which I really like, the powder form, which is Becca. And they make these shimmering skin perfectors. They look like this. I think the packaging is absolutely stunning. It's like a brown, and then it has a silver plate on top, and when you open it, it has a mirror, and then you have the product here. I have two colors. This one in my hand right now is the color Champagne Pop, and I also have the color Moonstone. The color Moonstone is very light and it's just a very neutral champagne color, but it leans towards white, so it doesn't really have a very golden or silver or even rose gold undertone to it. It is just very neutral and it is very good for everybody with very light to fair skin like me. The color Champagne Pop, which I have here, is a rose gold with a little bit of pink in it, I would describe. And I don't know if you know Jaclyn Hill on YouTube. She's a huge YouTuber, so I would be very surprised if you haven't heard of her. But she actually designed this color. She came up with the color and did this huge collaboration with Becca, and I really like that highlighter. I do have a dupe for this one. The Becca highlighters unfortunately are not very cheap, but Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter, I don't think they're very old. I think they just came out within the last half a year or year, I'm not sure. But the Master Chrome highlighters have a very similar texture and they have all sorts of colors. I think I'm not even sure how many, but they have more than 4 colors, I think. And one of the colors, I have to check, I blended in somewhere on the screen, but one color is very, very similar to the Champagne Pop. These powder highlights I use at the very end of my makeup routine when my whole face is done. Then I just take a very tiny little brush and put it on the high points of my cheek, which is the area here on top of my cheekbone. I really like to put it on the bridge of my nose, right between my eyes. I like sometimes to have it on my chin and sometimes around my cupid's bow as well. Oh, and I also use these powder highlighters as eyeshadows all the time. Like especially the Moonstone color is a very nice color to just put all over the lid, and then just some mascara and off you go, your eye makeup is done. Staying with Becca for a while, I have one liquid product and one cream product from Becca as well. I just realized I have so many products from Becca which are glow related. They are just the brand to go if you want a nice glowy finish and a very dewy makeup look. So the next product from Becca is a liquid, and it's the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the liquid version, which is a huge bottle. I don't know how I should ever finish this. One day I will finish it and then I will gladly buy a new one because I absolutely love this product. This one is in the color Pearl. So this is even a little bit whiter. Let's see. In comparison, this is Pearl. I don't know if you can see, but this is Moonstone. So Moonstone is a little bit more yellow than Pearl. Pearl is like an actual white. I have many different ways to use this. The first one is to put it on directly after my moisturizer before I put on my foundation, and that just acts as a primer. a very, very glowy primer, and it just comes from underneath the foundation. It's a very pretty glow. The second way how I use it is to actually mix it in with the foundation. So I do 1 pump of foundation on the back of my hand, and then I just take this and do another pump of this Shimmering Skin Perfector, and then I mix it on the back of my hand and just use it as a regular foundation, and it just gives every foundation an extra glow. The last way how I use it is obviously just as your regular highlighter on top of the foundation. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then either I take my hand, my finger, or the sponge, a dampened beauty blender or something like that, and then I take the product and then just very, very lightly dab it on all the areas I want an extra glow. Today, for my makeup look I'm wearing right now, I actually mixed it in with my foundation, which is, I used the Kiko foundation, the Universal Fit, which is now the Smart foundation, and I think I mixed it just 50-50, so I have an overall glow on my face. Obviously here I have a different highlighter on as well, but as you can see, my skin is very, like, nearly translucent looking and very shiny. I did powder my face afterwards, so I'm not completely shiny, just in the areas I wanted to, and where I want to look a little bit more matte, like underneath my eyes, around my nose and on my chin today, I just took a little bit of powder. I have one more Becca product, but just to keep it in the categories, I quickly jumped to Charlotte Tilbury, and obviously I had to show you the Hollywood Flawless Filter Primer, which is not really a highlighter, but it is in a way, because it is such a highlighting product. You can use it exactly the same way as I just described how I use my Shimmering Skin Perfector in the liquid version. You can put it underneath foundation as a primer, you can mix it in with your foundation, or you can dab it on the top for having the most strong effect, I would say. But this one I like the most underneath my foundation. Oh, and I nearly forgot to tell you guys, this one has a little bit of a coverage. So the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector doesn't have coverage, that is just glow. And this one from Charlotte Tilbury has coverage, so if you are brave enough, you could wear this completely on its own and it gives you the most gorgeous glow, but you do look very shiny, nearly metallic. So I wouldn't, like, my personal preference is to wear this underneath foundation or mixed in with your foundation. Back to Becca, my last product from Becca is quite new. I think it just came out and I just bought it last week and I already absolutely love it. I have it on today. I have a different highlighter underneath, which I'm going to tell you in a second. But this one is the last product basically I put on the top. It is a stick and it is like a cream. You can just open it and then twist the bottom and the product just comes out like that. I wouldn't recommend putting it on just from the bullet, because it's always gonna move your foundation and your powders and all of that. So always when I have like stick cream foundation, I'm taking it on my finger and then tapping it on. And this one gives you the most gorgeous glow. Like, it is like wet looking, as you can see. So this one has no shimmering particles in it whatsoever. There's nothing glittery. This is just a shine. This is basically like a gloss in a stick, and you just pat the glossiness on top of your cheeks. And I like to layer that on top of a different highlighter, like any other highlighter I'm showing you, because this is basically just like the finishing touch to make it extra glossy. This one also doesn't have any color whatsoever. I mean, it does look beige in the tube here, or in the packaging, but once it's on the skin, it's just completely neutral. If anything, it looks maybe a tiny little bit pink, but nothing too crazy. What I have to add about this product is that it doesn't really set, so it does stay wet and slippery. So I touched my cheek earlier and immediately everything came off. Like, obviously this product and everything which was underneath. So I kind of had to fix it with the beauty blender. So I think I have to try to set this with a setting spray, because otherwise I think your makeup tends to be not as long lasting as it should with this product, but I happily risk that because I really think that's very beautiful. Moving on to the next stick highlighter I have, which is this one from Hourglass. It's in a very nice packaging. It's like a triangular packaging, and it's the same principle. You just open it and twist the bottom. Up comes the product, and this is actually the product I have underneath the Becca stick. I think in terms of color, this is my favorite. It is such a nice champagne golden, very neutral color, and it has enough color to show, but it's not too much color to completely change your makeup look and like act as a blush or something like that. I also really like the consistency because it's different to all the others I have, because this is kind of like a gel. For me, this color works really well. I could imagine that girls who are even paler than me, they could have a little problem because this really shows. It has coverage and it has a color, and it could be that really pale girls wouldn't get along with this so well. My last favorites are from MAC, and again I have like the same product but in different colors, and this is the cream color base, One Time in Pearl, which is this very nice champagne color again. The other one is in the color Hush, and the color I would describe as a peachy pink. That's also a product you could wear underneath the foundation or mixed in. I don't really like to mix it in. I like to have it underneath, mixed in with my moisturizer, or I just use it as a regular highlighter. This one I always use just with my finger. I dab in and then just go onto my face. This color I only can wear in the summer when I'm tan, because this is really like, otherwise it would look like a blush on me. But this other one in the color Pearl, I already hit pan on it. I just realized. Happy days. I hit pan on a cream highlighter. For very long I only used this product before I had my Hourglass one, before I had my Charlotte Tilbury primer, but this one, I think I even used it on my wedding day if I'm not mistaken. This one is a cream product, but I sometimes even use it as a cream eyeshadow. I love this color as an eyeshadow. I think if they would have a powder eyeshadow, this color, I would buy it immediately. But because it has this tiny little bit of yellowness inside, it really brings out the blue in my eyes. I usually just smear that all over my lid and then deepen up the crease with a bronzer. I also use the bronzer as a regular bronzer, and I use this one as my highlight, so the whole look comes together very nicely. I have one last like honorable mention to do, and this is the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer, which comes in this tiny little pot. You just open it up and then your product is in like that. You also just take it out with your finger. I really like this. It has a similar effect to my new Becca stick. So before I had this, I would always reach for that if I want this glossy, wet looking effect. But since I have this, I have to say I like this a tiny little bit more because it's more extreme. So if I want to have a wet looking effect, I want to have a wet looking effect. I don't want to have it like a little bit wet looking. I really still like the RMS Beauty one, but I kind of feel that the Becca Glow Glaze stick took over. That was it. I showed you all of my favorite glow products for the face, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you got inspiration or some new ideas. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any other videos that I post every week. I hope you are all having a great time, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!